guys. A couple of you guys were talking about wanting to see my drawing process or sketching process, which I normally cut out of my videos because it takes a lot of editing and I am very inconsistent where I'll draw things and delete it and draw things, and it just is a lot of editing. But today I was going to draw or sketch a very simple drawing for a Patreon up on my Patreon there, and I was just going to film this and show you guys so you can sort of see my process. But it is just a simple little sketch and it's nothing big, and my process is by far not professional. I feel like I should have a process that's like set in stone that I should do every single time I do a drawing, but I don't. My process is very wonky and it's different every time. And as you can see here, I started with like these blobs, and the only reason I did that was because I wanted to keep the idea of the pose I wanted to go for, but I didn't want to guideline the pose, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. You guys will have to tell me if you sketch like this too or whatnot. I normally never use guidelines if I'm drawing traditionally, because I hate erasing guidelines when you're drawing traditionally. It feels really difficult and I don't know, I don't like doing it. So when it's digital, I am more apt to use guidelines if I feel like I want to, like when it's multiple characters. Sorry about any cuts in the video, my dog was barking. But anyway, I normally don't use guidelines if it's just one character. I normally use guidelines if it's two characters, because that way I can like kind of have them interacting okay. But when it's one character, I just kind of go with the flow of whatever works. And I know that's not a great way of doing things because I feel like I don't know proportions well. I feel like I'm not good enough to not ever consider guidelines or go by things like that. But for me, drawing is a whole lot about just having fun and doing my thing and doing what I think looks okay. So that's normally how I draw, and I don't really take it too seriously. I know a lot of people draw and they're very serious about it, which is great if that's what you do, but for me, I'm a little less serious about it, and I just kind of do whatever works for me. And I know everyone does that differently, but I would love to know more about your guys' like how you sketch and stuff like that. But with this one, I kind of started with the blobs to get the idea of how I wanted the characters to connect. Like I wanted there to be the guy sitting and him to like kind of like go into the certain shape. But then I also wanted the little girl, and I wanted her to like be like standing in a cool pose that's super cute. And that's what I was going for with the random blobs at the beginning. But then I sketched over it, and then I delete the blobs because I was like, I don't need the blobs anymore. But then what I was going for here is my patron that is super helpful and very supportive is Myra Marty. I wanted to draw them something, and their idea of what I could draw was something what I think of when I think of like the holidays, if I don't celebrate Christmas, what I think about like the season or what it makes me feel, what makes me happy about it. And what I was going for here was pretty much caring or being selfless and just thinking about others and not yourself. And that's normally what I think about when I think about this sort of season, because that's what always people notice is everyone being so kind and nice and not thinking about yourself, which is mostly evident in this season, which is what I was trying to go for with this like cold sort of a homeless man, but this little girl will give him her jacket. That's what I was going for. But I hope it turns out okay, and I hope you like it. I was just going to do sketches for some of my patrons, so if you guys want to help support me, you can go check out my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description and also in the comments. Thank you so much. And with my sketching process, after I normally never watch it because like I said, I edit it out. I always edit it out of all my videos. So when I was watching this, editing it, I was like, wow, my sketching process is really weird. It's not what I imagined it would be, because I sketch all the time, but when watching yourself do it, it looks so different than what you think it is when you're actually drawing. If that makes sense. But this is a sketch, so it's not my main progress as much as it's like how I like to sketch and draw things messily. It's not my main way of doing it if I were to draw OCs or draw characters, so it's not exact. But I will try to do more videos to show my actual progress. But I feel like I'm so slow with sketching that I normally just edit it out because I never have time. But I do want to try it more often. Also with this setting, I never do backdrops. So that's also something that's new for me, or doing a sketch where like I'm not coloring the whole thing or just adding a few items in the background. I never do this. Like never. I don't think I've done this in I would like to say a couple months, but it's honestly probably been longer than that. I've done some little backgrounds, but nothing like actually trying to properly, like from my own ideas. So it's tough for me, and especially when I'm just coming up with it like on the spot from my mind. Normally I have something to look at, like a reference or something like that. But with this drawing, I had no references whatsoever. So that's why I probably do a lot different. And I wasn't sure what to do, because when I'm drawing OCs, all I have to do is look at your OC and kind of draw a character and then dress them up like your OC in a sense. But with this, I was just kind of sketching whatever came to mind and whatever I wanted, which was super nice of 𝐬𝐻 to let me sketch whatever I wanted. That was so much fun. I really had fun with this drawing. I was actually not going to plan on making a video with this drawing because it was so simple. But then when I saw some people talking about, oh, I want to see your art progress or your process and how you draw, I was like, I might as well record it just so people can see how I do things. But like I said, it's not professional. It's nothing exciting. It's like me playing around with the drawing for like a few minutes. I'm not sure exactly how long this drawing took. It probably took about, I would say 30 minutes, maybe. I don't know. It was pretty quick. So it was pretty easy to sit there and draw, because normally my drawings take me a couple, I'd say probably 5 hours to finish, because I like take my time and I'm inconsistent. I'm like not sure what to do, especially when I'm drawing someone's character. I feel more pressured to do my best. But when it's a sketch, I'm just like, and someone wants me to do whatever, I'm like, I'm just gonna do whatever makes me happy and is fun. So this is what I did, and I was actually really happy with how it turned out, which normally I'm not happy with my drawings, as you guys probably know. I normally look at the videos, I'm like, I don't like this, I don't like how this turned out, not like that. But with this one, since it was such a simple sketch, and it was like something that I did really quickly, I like it more than I normally like my other drawings, which is kind of sad in a way, but I'm happy just to be happy with the drawing for once. So that's exciting to me. But with the setting, I also was trying to go for a very cold setting, which while drawing and adding all these different colors, I was like, how do I want to go about this? Adding like a cold setting to it, which mostly you would think is very simple and straightforward. But for me, I wasn't sure. I was starting to make the edges look more white and pale without color. I thought maybe that would make it look more frozen. I don't know if it does or I'm crazy. It looks to me like slightly frozen, but I don't know. Like I said, I rarely draw backgrounds. I am not professional at this whatsoever. So none of these tips are technically good. I'm just showing you guys what I did. And if you guys like it, thank you so much. And please do let me know how you draw and what your process is, or if you have tips for drawing. I always love seeing tips. I always use paint tool size, so if anyone knows anything about that. I did hear there's a second paint tool size out, so I am curious to try that. Oh, and here I'm adding like these shadows because I wanted the light to be behind them. So I was adding shadows and trying to make it look more and more like there's a warmth and it's cold. And I thought that helped. I'm not sure if it did again, but to me in my mind, I thought it made it look more warm. Another thing for making something look cold, I had to add their breath. It took me a while to figure that out. I was drawing this for quite a while and I was like, how do I make it look cold? I don't know how. So even without the snow, I had to start adding breath and stuff like that. And I thought that made it look cold. And over there on the left, you'll see my big supporters on Patreon, 𝐬𝐻 and James. This drawing is from 𝐬𝐻. So if you want to go follow her up on Instagram, there it is. It's 𝐬𝐻421. So please do follow her. She is super helpful and so help support me. Thank you so much. I hope you like this drawing. I'm trying my best with it. But a lot of people ask me to draw things like this or make videos showing you how I do things, but I am pretty uncomfortable with it and I don't know how to do it at all. So I hope you guys like this video, even though it's not professional and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm pretty much just showing you me sketching and I don't even know how to talk about it. But I wanted to do what you guys were requesting, and this was the most fun drawing I've done in a long time. So having all this freedom and doing what I wanted, that was so much fun. But again, let me know what you guys would like to see next, and thank you so much for watching.